Quiet.
Okay.
Go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Fly With Us podcast. This podcast is bringing the art of conversation, self-love, self-care, mental health care and protection, life lessons, love lessons, and everything in between. Today we're going to talk about first loving yourself. I'm Lady Bounce.
And I am a slate. Let's talk about, first loving yourself in these relationships.
Situationships?
So it's getting warmer outside.
Cuffing season is over.
Is anybody still getting booed up? Like booed up?
I think that went out when the song went off.
Like some of these relationships. Okay. So let's talk about, first loving yourself. Abusive relationships, self-serving relationships, things like that. What do you think?
Well, self-serving relationships have a purpose if you're the one that's being served.
Okay, first, what's a self-serving relationship?
For me, I would have to define it as a relationship where I'm getting everything I want or just about everything I want.
Okay.
And in getting what I want, I'm not concerned about how you feel about me getting what I want. If you like it, if you enjoy giving me what I want, this is what I want, I'm going to get it.
Okay, so that's a flat out selfish. That's selfish as hell. Okay, and I'm thinking self-serving, like in my mind, they could both be serving self, or it can be a little bit unequal or unfair.
Right.
But then I guess it depends, because I've heard that thing that goes around, there's no robbery and fair exchange.
I love that saying.
Yeah. So like okay, we were talking a little bit earlier about relationships where maybe the woman is breaking a little bit of bread. She being a sugar mama or something, and then the brother is reaping the benefits. But what if that's the situation, be it she breaking the bread, or the guy keeping her nails done, her hair done, taking her out on dates, spending all this money? Is that unfair? Is that self-serving? Or are they breaking even? So
I think it depends on the level of the relationship that you're in and where you are. Because so often I think people get into relationships and you're giving wifely duties or wifely privileges to a boyfriend. So if you're giving him those wifely things now, there's no incentive on his behalf to make you anything other than whatever you are right here at this level. Because it's like the old saying my grandma used to say, it's why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free.
Okay. So somebody needs to slow down.
Right. So there's no need for me to be like, oh, I want you to be my wife.
Now what if that isn't made clear? What if that's not clear? What if, because I've been on both ends of that. Now what if, say for example, okay, she just think that they gonna go a little bit further and they just friends. Now sometimes it needs to be etched in stone. We're just friends. Since we're talking about relationships, situationships, relationships. So you got, let's see if I'm it's complicated.
It is.
So you got we'll start up here and come down a little bit.
Okay.
So you got husband, wife.
Yes.
Right. You got the engaged, right?
Coupling.
Ooh, coupling.
Then
you got man, woman, because I'm a 40 plus year old woman. Ooh, 40 plus year old woman. I have issues saying boyfriend, girlfriend. But okay, so then you got man and woman together. Booze are people that's just messing around and just friends. Just messing around friends. So it needs to be clear, right?
I definitely think it needs to be clear, and I think it goes back to a few episodes ago, we talked about the conversation with Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin when they laid out, relationships and how they get so complicated and so mixed up so fast.
Yeah.
And it's about slowing down.
Yeah.
And it's okay to slow down.
And communicating.
And communicating is the biggest piece.
Yeah.
Because if you're not ready for whatever this relationship is bringing, then you need to say that. And even if it comes down to, you have to have some tact when you say it so that you don't hurt people's feelings. But I believe in keeping in the minds of loving yourself and in self-care, you have to love yourself enough to know what you want, what you don't want, what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept. And in keeping with the honesty you have with yourself, you owe anybody in your circle, especially romantically, you owe them that same level of clarity.
What about your damn self? What about being real with yourself though? Because sometimes you can just read more into a situation and you know that ain't the case. You know that man just wants somebody to hang out with, or you know that woman ain't really digging you. She just want what you got to give. So
quit lying to yourself.
Quit lying to yourself. Be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself.
But and that's what I'm saying. In the same way that you have to love yourself enough to know what you want, but you also have to love yourself enough to be willing to be critical of yourself. And a lot of times we don't like to do that. It doesn't feel good to say, yeah, you messed that situation up, or yeah, you were wrong in that situation. I can't count the number of statuses I've seen on Facebook where black men ain't this or black women ain't that. First of all, how are you going to put it on a whole gender? Because you ran into one bad apple. Let's start with that.
Right.
And then you have to ask yourself, if you continue to run into bad apples, you might want to look in the mirror. Like, yo, for real.
Yeah.
If you keep having the same problem in every relationship,
it could be you.
At some point, you have to go, yeah, that might be me. Yeah. And it doesn't feel good, and that's why we don't do it. Because everything that we've talked about on our show up to this point is about things that make you feel good. Doing what?
Stretching hurts. Healing hurts.
Right.
We won't use hurt. Let's say it can be a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, it can be a bit uncomfortable.
Gotta step outside of your comfort zone.
We don't like to do that. But I always tell people, I'm my own worst critic.
Yeah, we all are.
And somebody says something to me, that I did something great or I did something wonderful, and that's where I struggle at accepting compliments and stuff. Because I'm like, I just did my job. What you mean? I ain't doing nothing fantastic. Okay, thanks.
Just say thanks and keep it moving.
Right, which is that was our self-care assignment a couple episodes. Is to say thank you and keep it moving. If you don't know what to say,
we're working on it.
Yeah, I'm a work in progress. But now when it comes to these relationships, I just believe that in order to be happy in any relationship that you're in, you owe it to that other person to be honest.
Yeah.
There are people who are in relationships that they think are one way, and then when they find out that they're not that way, they're traumatized. And some of them are actually doing self-harm and suicide as a result of this relationship that you thought was up here. And it turned out that y'all just friends. Or y'all just paycheck buddies.
Okay.
She only call you when it's payday.
Okay.
He only call you when it's payday.
Or it's, what is the other one? In the midnight hour. Those times.
If they calling after 10 o'clock.
Now, let's go back to being real with yourself. Being honest with yourself.
Ain't nothing wrong with me, and I'm a prize for any man who gets me, who touches me. Okay. I got this. I got my life together.
Yes, you are the prize. But be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. Let's see. Abusive. I want to go back to this abusive relationships.
Okay.
Because we mentioned something earlier, like the body shaming. Okay, now we can understand criticism, right?
Right.
But what if you got the cat that's, you need to lose weight, you need to do your hair, you need to do this, or you need to. How we feel about that? Is that bad? Is that building that person up? Should they walk away from that? What should be done there, or is it anything? Is that harmful to self-esteem?
I think it goes back to where are you in your relationship. For example,
you gotta know where you at.
I put on this shirt the other day. In my mind, I was fly.
All right.
In my mind,
first loving yourself.
I was gonna go outside and I was gonna kill him. My husband was like, "That's what you're wearing," and he wasn't mean about it, but I had to pause and go, "I like this shirt. What you mean?" He like, "Well, I know how you usually dress." So wait a minute. Where we going?
This is not where the way I usually dress.
Is there something wrong? He's like, well, it's not wrong with the shirt. But it's a little medium. And I was like, oh. I said, okay. I said, so I ain't ready for this shirt. He said, no, you don't
lost weight. You ain't ready for it. He like, no. Also, you were celebrating yourself. Congratulations. Do that. Keep going, though.
I was trying to, but I wasn't ready for that shirt.
You weren't, okay.
And so, us having the kind of relationship that we had, he felt comfortable enough to say, I know you carry yourself a certain way and you dress a certain way when you leave the house. And that shirt might not be in line with how you normally dress.
Okay.
And when he said that, I had to pause and go, let me look in the mirror again. I was like, ooh, I can't see that extra roll that I always be trying to tuck and hide. You're right. Let me change my shirt. But now had he not been my husband and we had just been dating and he told me my shirt is too little, it could have went a whole another way. Like, well, who are you to tell me how to dress? When you met me, this is what I had on. Or I dressed like this when you first met me.
So y'all respect each other's feelings in that relationship.
Right. But again, it depends on the level of your relationship. Because if we were just dating or if we're just friends and we just talking, you don't have the right to tell me.
So you setting boundaries.
Right.
Okay.
You got to set that boundary. You don't have the right to tell me that I shouldn't wear this or I can't wear that.
And then, too, I'm going to take it another way. If you feel good in that shirt and you feel like you looking good in that shirt, wear that shirt. Wear that shirt.
I kind of felt like a sausage after he said it.
But if you feel good in it, you wear that.
I looked at, I really did. But again, that's being your own self-critic and being reflective in yourself to say.
But then you said yourself, you liked it.
No, I liked it.
You didn't second guess it until it was critiqued. You liked it.
Yeah.
And you didn't feel uncomfortable in it until that was said. You didn't take a second look because you felt good.
But and that's the thing. I didn't take the second look until he said,
So had he not said nothing, you would have still been feeling good.
No, I probably would have looked in the mirror myself and been like.
So you never looked in the mirror?
No, when I put it on.
God, there are no mirrors in my nana's house.
But yeah, like when I first got dressed, I didn't look in the mirror, so I didn't know. Like typically, when I get dressed in the morning, I don't even look in the mirror until I'm literally walking out the door.
For us.
Yeah, like
we should try that. We should try that.
What, to look in the mirror?
One day, 24 hours without looking in the mirror.
Oh, that's easier for me to do.
That's easy for you to do?
Yeah, because we got our bathroom redone a few years ago, and there's no mirror in my bathroom. So we have full-length mirrors in the hallway, but there's no mirrors in my bedroom, and I'm okay with that. Like,
so you cannot look in the mirror all day.
Yeah, that would be easy.
I do not believe that.
And like if I'm going to work, I always stop and look because
so 24 hours. What day can we not look in the mirror?
Like a Saturday or Sunday when I'm not leaving.
That's cheating. We'll talk about that in a minute.
It has to be a day where I'm not leaving the house because like if I'm going to work,
that's cheating.
No, I gotta look in the mirror before I go to work because I'll tell you what, those kids they're honest. Okay. And they will tell you, in a minute when I walk in the door and I think I'm Fly Diva. It only takes
another thing about some honest kids, okay? Man. When I tell you I thought these beautiful locks that I just washed that are doing something amazing under here. When I thought them was forcing me to love myself. Those kids, those young people, why you keep wearing that scarf? Why you keep wearing that on your head? Why don't you take that off? Let me see your hair. Do you got hair? Let me see your hair.
Right, are you bald head?
They force
you. Are you Erica Badu under there?
They force you to be more who you are and show yourself and love yourself, and you have to embrace it. And if you faking like I'm cute, I'm this, I'm that. They can read straight through that if you tell them. I love them for their brutal honesty. I love them for that.
And even, just to piggyback on that, they can be brutally honest with you in a way that my students are brutally honest with me because of the relationship that you've built. They feel closer to you than they do, Miss Johnson down the hall. They might not tell Miss Johnson that she spilled mustard on her shirt or like she should have ironed that shirt because they don't care enough to critique what she has on. We're like, my husband is a shoe fanatic, so I got shoes galore, dress shoes, gym shoes, you name it. I never thought about my shoes before until I taught a class full of all boys. And they like, man, Miss Webb, your shoe game is on point. You ain't repeating those shoes at all this week. I never thought about it. I'm like, I got on a blue shirt, I got on blue shoes. My shirt is red, my shoes are red. I never thought about that. But again, that's about being comfortable in that relationship that you have.
So, and that's a different relationship, but that's one and where we have to be who we are. We have to be real. So how about being real and being who we are in these situationships and relationships?
So you tell me, how do you, as a single woman who is in the dating scene, when you meet somebody...
I am not single. I am fully taken, okay? By me. I am in love with me.
Well, when you cheat on yourself with another person, how do you set up those boundaries to begin with? How do you maintain so if, as you cultivate and build a relationship, how do you build those steps? How do you not give those wifely privileges to somebody who's not even your boyfriend?
I know for me, we're sharing. All right. We're sharing. I like to think I'm a little bit private. But, okay, coming from an abusive relationship. I mean, it was a toxic relationship on both parts. Coming from that and losing my fiance before that, and hey, I just had some wild relationships, man. How about that? I had some wild relationships. Coming from all that, I had to learn how to fall in love with me.
Right.
So, and I'm still learning more about me. So going into a friendship, I'm going in the gate, shut down, and slowly open up.
Right.
And reveal. No, I'm not cooking you dinner every day. I bet I don't. I bet I don't.
My name is
I'm not going to do that. I've been there before where I play the wife.
Right.
I'm not doing that. At this season in my life, I don't feel that's necessary. That you don't deserve all that right now. What you have to show me you worthy of my extra effort. And I expect you to feel the same way about me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I expect, don't be giving me everything because I'm here to tell you I ain't ready for that. I'm focused on my family, my career, and these kids. You know what I'm saying? All this is all.
But I love you, girl.
Okay, I love you too. Yeah.
I want you to move in with me. I want you to
never. I love my house.
I love
my own
everything.
Space. See, and that's something I had to be real with myself about. I've learned to I used to be the person that hated to be by myself. Right. I mean, from the time I was 14 years old, understand me, till I was well into my 30s, I had never been alone.
Wow.
Never. I had never been alone. So when I had to sleep by myself, I'm talking about I had at least 60 monkeys, and I ain't lying. All these stuffed animals, and that didn't do the trick. And so I settled for relationships that didn't work and stuff like that. But no, I found out I like sleeping in my bed by myself. I like being by myself. I like being able to share certain parts of myself with somebody else. You know what I mean? I like bringing a whole me to a relationship and they get me down. You know, we we figure that thing out together. But yeah, that's what I do. I'm not giving all of me until it's warranted. You know, you got to know your worth.
I definitely agree with that. And then one of the biggest pitfalls I think that I see is that people who give too much too soon, and then the relationship fizzles out,
and they broken hearted and devastated,
and your life is over because you don't know what to do because you didn't do it systematically. You went from this to this immediately.
I'm not there because I used to be. I can't be the person that think I needs to go into something to be completed. No, I'm walking in complete, which means I will enhance you. You can enhance me. We can enhance one another. It's kind of like salt and pepper. Just add a little bit of seasoning. We already got the whole meal already going. I don't need it no more. So yeah, but let's see what we got going on. I can't ask you. You are married, happily married for decades. But how do you maintain and continue and keep a loving, happy marriage for the length of time that you have?
I think the biggest thing is we started off having conversations about exactly what we wanted, and we started off on the same page. Now, so that's
do you still feel like Lady Bounce, or do you feel like the wife of, or you still feel like you have your own identity and you're your own person? I feel like
it's fluctuated over the years. Mm-hmm. I think for a long time I was just his wife, their mother. His wife, their mother. Mm-hmm. I wasn't me, but I was so caught up in my titles and so caught up in my roles, I didn't notice that I had lost me. So because I didn't notice I lost me, it was no big deal. It was like, this is my life, you know, it is what it is. And then I got to a point where I was like, wait a minute, he's got this going on and he's got that. The kids are getting up and getting out there and doing other things, and I'm like, well, when they all gone, what do I have? Who am I really at the essence or at the end of it? So while it's been, a long relationship, we have our stuff too. It's not perfect. I'm sure I get on his nerves. In fact, I know I get on his nerves. Like I make jokes to my coworkers and stuff. Like if I say something like, man, I tripped over my husband's shoe this morning, they like, oh yeah, my husband does it too. And I said, no. We're not gonna bash men because I know I'm a piece of work to live with.
That's where I'm at.
I'm not gonna sit and pretend like I'm the perfect wife or he is the perfect husband. We have our stuff too, but we make it work because at the end of the day, the commitment is still there. The original reasoning for our coupling and being together is still there. He still makes me laugh. I still make him laugh. We still hang out together. And now that our kids are older and they can be left home alone and they have social lives, we're like dating again.
That's sweet.
I know. And I'm like, this is weird. And people are like, yeah, I saw you and your husband out to eat. I said, no. You saw me and my boyfriend on the date. Ooh. And he still calls me his lady friend. And people always
I've heard him say that too.
I had somebody inbox me like a year or so ago and was like, who is this lady friend your husband always talking about? Do you know her? I was like, nah, did you see her? You should stab her. Like,
oh, no,
but we are still playful. But we started off that way. Like our third date, no lie. I don't even know this guy. He was picking out baby names. Who does that?
I would have ran.
I know, right? I should have ran. What was I thinking?
No, he was thinking right. He was thinking love. He was different.
I know, because when I tell people that, I'm like, that was the weirdest thing ever. Like, who goes on a date to eat fish and french fries and you picking out baby names? Who does that?
Yeah. See, my situation now, I have a friend that is just, that encourages patience and learning more about yourself and enhancing your craft and career. And I'm like, this is perfect. This is pretty cool. I can still figure out more about me, be me.
You can still be yourself without getting lost and caught up in being somebody else's significant other. I think as women, we are meant to be more than that. But so many things tell us that that's all we're good for. And then we get this false narrative that destroys the relationships, that you have to be independent. You shouldn't need no man. You shouldn't want no man.
Or the other way around. You have to have that title. And if you really sit down with yourself, like as Legacy says, the poet Legacy, sit down with myself. As you sit down with yourself, you find out that you don't need them daggone titles. You don't need all that. All you need for real is love.
At the end of the day, everybody deserves to be loved by whomever and receive love in return.
Speaking of being loved by whomever and receiving love,
yes, ma'am,
in return.
Come on with it.
Our self-care assignment is for the grown folks.
Oh,
the grown and sexy, the single and sexy, are the committed. And that's all I got for that. Boosting your self-esteem with orgasms. What? Still tickles my fancy.
Tell me more.
So here is your self-care assignment for the week. Be brave, be daring. First, love yourself. Even before the scientists step in, it's easy to believe that having orgasms can make you feel good about yourself. Orgasms are intensely pleasurable, and you can't help but be impressed that your body is able to produce such sensations. If you're giving yourself an orgasm, your confidence should feel that much higher. Beyond that, science shows that having orgasms can actually improve your self-esteem because of the chemicals they release. During orgasm, blood flows into the prefrontal cortex of the right side of the brain. Okay.
That's that brain science. Keep going with that.
This part of your brain is responsible for decision making and personality expression. All the real you come out during that time, okay? And when stimulated by the orgasm, it makes the body feel a profound sense of gratification. Gratitude, okay? You get gratitude out of there. Gratitude isn't the only benefit of orgasm, though. Orgasms can also reduce the effects of depression because they release endorphins, hormones that improve mood. So the next time you've got the body image blues or your self-esteem is in a slump, don't reach for the jelly donuts or sit there feeling sad. Try having an orgasm, either on your own or with someone you love. And lift your spirits the natural way. So
as the resident fat girl in this podcast, can I eat the jelly donut when it's over?
Cut it out. So our self-care assignment for this week is boost your self-esteem with orgasms. Now, our mindfulness minute. All right. So you done cut the people out your life you didn't need in there. You done got rid of the cuffing season over. You pulled your scissors out for real and cut that. How about we declutter your space? You got to make room for new or make room for you. Every 6 months, go through your home and closets to see what you are not wearing or using anymore. Many of us keep clothes that we haven't worn in years and then end up throwing them out 10 years later. If you no longer fit into something or you just don't like it anymore, let it go. This includes people. Grab some bags or boxes, fill them, and find the nearest charity where you can donate. Zante at these deals will accept them. Or the Salvation Army. In many cases, you can fill out a donation form and deduct that contribution from your taxes at the end of the year. So you get more space for you, some extra dollars in your pocket, and possibly orgasms. That is our mindfulness minute and our self-care assignment for the week. Now we're going to move on to our brain science.
All right. So our brain science, to wrap up this whole thing about relationships, this is going to be the science of how to get rid of toxic relationships and how they affect your health. So we already know that supportive relationships boost your brain cells. Having people around you that make you feel good, boost your self-esteem.
Like my bomb friend, yes.
Like my husband who told me my shirt was too little.
Yes.
I appreciate that because I would have went out and somebody would have judged me and been like, she got on that medium when she needed a large. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that. So here are, first of all, let's answer this question. Is your relationship toxic? Most people know when a relationship with someone is not positive. But for some, the toxicity can be so pervasive that it begins to feel normal. Everyone has good days and bad days, and all relationships go through hard times. But there are some questions that you can ask yourself. We're going to post this quiz on our Facebook page because there's like 15 questions. Okay. I'm going to give you the meat of this brain science. All right. So, when it comes to ridding yourself of toxic relationships, these are 6 tips for giving yourself a relationship detox and setting healthy boundaries. Ponder these 4 choices that you have to deal with when it comes to a negative relationship. First, accept the relationship as it is and be at peace with it. This can reduce a lot of stress based on trying to change someone else. That's the kind of relationship I'm in right now. Change the relationship by creating boundaries for yourself. Remember, you cannot change another person, but you can change how you react and what you will allow into your life. Leave the relationship. Sometimes, sadly, this is the best course. If another person's behavior is intolerable to you, don't go any further in that relationship. Stop it right there. Cut it out. Because it's only going to get worse. If you can't stand his shoes being in the middle of the floor right now, it's going to be worse when it's his shoes and his own. Maya Angelou said, if somebody shows you who you are the first time, believe them. Please. Feel miserable. Do not make yourself feel miserable. Okay. And it says, this is a choice that will continue your stress cycle, which is something that people choose to do. You wallow in that self-pity. You wallow in the goneness of that toxic relationship, not realizing that this toxic relationship being gone is what's best for you, but we like it. So it feels, felt good. Right. This is a big one. This makes me think of you. Foster your own mindfulness. You may not be ready to make a decision right away. To determine the best action for your toxic relationship, you first need to deal with yourself. Yes. Start consistent mindfulness meditation to bring peace into your life and grow in presence. By becoming more present and less worried about perceived future events or the mental replaying of past events with this person, you will anchor yourself in the only place of effective change, and that's right here, right now. Sweet. Cultivate your inner strength with yoga. What? Yes. In addition to mindfulness, yoga can be a catalyst for positive change. It also help you when you get those orgasms too. Oh. I mean, it can. It's positions, right? Sorry. All right. That's where I'm at today. Okay. Number 4. This is my favorite. Talk about it. Consider going to a qualified mindfulness-based counselor. While there are many beneficial schools of therapy and counseling, talking to a qualified therapist who has an objective view can remain neutral and give you the space that you need to find the clarity that you're looking for. So many times we're like, oh, I can't go see a mental health professional because whatever. Right. No, yes, please, you can. Please do. Go see somebody for yourself and the people around you that have to deal with you. For real. Like this is the big one. Set appropriate boundaries. Whether you're going to accept change or leave that negative relationship, setting your boundaries can help you clarify your path and reestablish your autonomy. Even set boundaries for yourself. Yes. Like, don't move so fast. Tell yourself, give yourself a time. Or like a self-care assignment we posted on our Facebook page that said, make a not to-do list or a stop list. That was this week. Make a list of things that you're going to stop doing that are not conducive to your mental health and your stress level. And here's my favorite one. This is the last one. Tip number 6. Create the tribe that you need. Sweet. Yes. Just as negative people are linked to hurting your health, conversely, research shows that people with good friends have lower inflammation levels and lower blood pressure compared with those with poor relationship ties. Surround yourself with people who edify you and challenge you to be the best version of yourself. If you don't have those people, go out and seek them in your community, in online groups of like-minded people. You can even meet some people at our meet and greet we're going to have very soon. Yes. Your health depends on it. And that find your tribe. That's a big one for me. I know you often put on Facebook, my village is amazing. Yes. You have to build your village. Yes. And it's okay to kick people out of your village. They definitely challenge me too. And it's okay to put out those people who who serve no purpose.
Oh, man.
It's okay.
I have a contact in my phone that's blocked. I'll admit it, though. And it says I put them under no longer in service. To remind myself never to unblock this number.
I like that.
Because sometimes you just got to let things go.
You do.
You got to let things go. To make room for the new. Declutter your space.
Declutter your space. Love yourself.
Find your tribe.
Find your tribe.
I just love that. I love that. So I am about to get on up out of here, Lady Bounce. You want to bounce with me? I am A Slate.
And I'm Lady Bounce. You can find us on SoundCloud, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, or you can always email us at flywithusla@gmail.com. And with that, we're taking flight.
We out.
We out.
Peace.